Let's get back to it now with a question from Roger Kincaid for Liberal leader David Swan. You will have 45 seconds to answer. Roger, go ahead.
Dr. Swan, Alberta has been the target of environmental activists who malign our province for our record on oil sands development and greenhouse gas emissions. What will you do as leader to send a message to the rest of Canada and the world that Alberta is serious about meeting greenhouse gas emissions targets while protecting jobs and fostering expansion in the energy sector?
Thank you, Roger. The Enbridge and Keystone XL pipelines have taught us that pipelines will not get built until we demonstrate better performance on the environment. It's not about communication, it's about improving performance. This is our economy's #1 threat. Americans don't trust Mr. Prentice and this PC government on the environment, and Albertans shouldn't either. This government fails to recognize that our economy and our environment are one. Even industry gets this. I've spoken to them. They're looking for the province to show leadership and create a level playing field. Clearly, we need to put a price on carbon.
10 seconds.
Mr. Prentice is reluctant to do that. It's the fairest, simplest, least expensive to monitor and manage. This is the way to go forward and send the right message to the international community as well as to Canadians.
Up next is Rachel Notley.
Well, thank you. Well, Albertans want to be proud of how we protect our air and our land and our water. And also, if we want access to markets, we need to be leaders on the environment. Missing the meeting in Ottawa where leaders across the country were talking about the environment, frankly, did not show leadership by this government. Now, for decades, this government has been kicking the can down the road, risking our natural environment, and putting our jobs and prosperity at risk. Now, what we can do is we can start by focusing on energy efficiency and renewable energy, two things that we've long since let go in this province. We need to improve and enforce our environmental standards, and we also need to consider ways to reduce our reliance on coal. There are so many things that we can do to improve our environmental record. It's just having a government that cares about making it happen.
Thank you. And now we go to Jim Prentice for your 45 seconds. Begin now.
Well, thank you. Alberta is proudly in the energy business, and we're proudly, therefore, in the environment business as well. And we must excel at both. We must be a leader nationally and internationally. We must also make sure that we don't damage our industrial competitiveness and lose jobs. But we need to build on our success, and our success includes, for example, making sure that we meet our 2020 GHG reduction targets, which we will be able to meet. We need to set our 2030 targets in advance of the Paris meeting. We need to participate in the Paris meeting. We need to strike international partnerships, such as with the World Bank, that views us as their partner of choice, for example, on the venting and flaring
10 seconds.
of missions. But we also need to renew our industrial framework, to set intensity targets, and to renew the price on carbon. All of this is what we need to do.
Thank you. And now we go to Mr. Jean again, 45 seconds.
Thank you. As an energy-producing economy, we need to take climate change seriously. It's a very serious issue, and man-made climate change is real. We must tackle it head-on in a way that makes sense for our economy, our specific economy. We will introduce the plan, which is simple and clear. We will reduce emissions with the natural gas strategy and move away from Alberta's reliance on coal. And we will make sure that Alberta's energy development is always balanced with strictly enforced environmental rules. There's nothing more important than our air,
10 seconds.
than our water, than our land, than our children that use that. And we will make sure that it is a proper place with a proper environment for our children and for future generations.